cup and 1/3 or one. But if you're looking for juicy balls, it's not the. Okay, not the juicy balls you're looking for. So, welcome to Omnis Eat Vegan Kitchen. My name's John, and today we're going to be making wheat balls, or what I would consider to be mushroom balls, because mushroom slash walnut balls. The recipe comes from a China study, an all-star collection by Leanne Campbell. What we're going to do is start by preheating the oven by 350 degrees. We're going to line our baking pan with unbleached parchment paper, and then we're going to dig out our breadcrumbs, and we're going to need 1 1/3 cups of breadcrumbs. The recipe calls for Italian breadcrumbs. I'm using a Great Value Panko Italian style, and I'm using 1/3 of a cup measuring, so you're going to see me do 3 plus 1. We're going to add our salt, which is 1/8 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to give us a couple of grinds, and then we're going to add our 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I guess that's just to give it a little extra Italian flair, because those breadcrumbs that I'm using, they seem to have a lot of Italian seasoning. And then we're going to add 1/2 cup of walnuts to our blender, and we're going to take those and we're going to turn them into a fairly coarse, probably something similar to the breadcrumb style consistency. We got them into a very fine. Hopefully you can see that they're pretty fine. We're going to add these to our breadcrumbs, Italian seasoning, and salt. I'm going to stir these into my walnuts. Now I've got walnuts, breadcrumbs, Italian seasoning, and salt. I forgot to add my garlic powder. You're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder to this. Next, we're going to add the vegetable portion of our wheat balls. For this recipe, it calls for 2 cups of chopped mushrooms. It's about 2 cups of diced mushrooms. And amazingly enough, I'm just going to cut this down to about that size. That should be something closer to what I was going to use, to about a 1/2 cup of diced onion. The recipe calls for me to chop this up, blend this till it's sort of like a salsa-like or chunky consistency. And then I'm supposed to take this and mix this together. The other thing that I decided to add was I'm going to add a little bit of liquid aminos. That's just what we use when I make homemade meatballs. So plus it'll give a little bit more liquid to this mixture. And I'm adding like 3 teaspoons of that to give it a little bit of flavor that hopefully people that I make meatballs for normally are used to. I've mixed my mushrooms, my onions, my breadcrumbs, and my walnuts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple of balls on screen, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven, and then we're going to try it. It says to use about 1.5 spoonfuls of this mixture to make a meatball. Fortunately, that's not how I make meatballs. I normally just grab the stuff and put it together. So I'm going to continue this process and then put them in the oven to cook for 25 minutes. And then I'm going to turn them and cook them for another 10 minutes. See you in about a half hour. Welcome back. It's been about 45 minutes, half hour. These are my wheat balls using that recipe. They've turned definitely golden brown. They have a very strong Italian seasoning smell. They do smell very much like traditional meatballs. I'm gonna invite Nick and Neil over to try these with me, and we're just gonna try them fresh from the oven. All right, guys, come on over, and I'm gonna try mine with a cracker. So, all right. Normally I'd add sauce to these. We put them over pasta. So we're definitely giving these the all natural. Would you like a cracker, Nick?
No.
No. Okay. I'll take that one. Thank you. Nick, you got one? Okay.
Mine's a half.
All right. Go ahead.
Just try to eat.
Now they did seem to. You saw that on camera. They did seem to break apart. I'll probably maybe allow them in the oven a little longer. What do you taste, Nicky?
That tastes like rice.
Tastes like rice.
Slide it.
I agree with that, man. It tastes literally just like Italian seasoning. Easy to crumble. Nothing too different.
They are a little dry. When I was making them, I noticed that a little concerned about the way they were going together. And because they were a little dry, it means when we baked them, they became sort of crumbly. Sauce would help that out. The flavor's good. The texture is not quite meatball. Nikki, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're giving them
7.
7. So you would eat them again if I made them and put them in sauce?
Probably a half.
You would, or you would not eat them again if I put them with sauce?
Would.
You would. Okay, good.
You mean hot sauce?
No,
Oh, what's
spaghetti sauce
Oh yeah.
with noodles.
Myself,
Yay!
I'd give these a 7 out of 10 as well.
The consistency is definitely off. I think the flavor's there. They are a little crunchy. They could use some, probably a little bit of more of the aminos, or maybe had I used a fresh onion instead of a frozen onion. The other thing that I could have done is maybe put in some olive oil or coconut oil. So if you like our recipe, or if you have some suggestions, click the like button, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. And this is Omnis Eat Vegan Kitchen. My name's John.
My name's Neil.
Nick.
And we're out of here.
We don't just make things out of nuts. We are, especially if you want to see this guy act a nut.